Hello, welcome to the call, The Power of Yes. I'm actually not going to be on video for this call only because I had a rough day. I just don't feel like being on video, and that's okay. So, and anyway, the point of all of these calls is for you to get the message behind what I'm saying. And tonight's call is, I've never done this call before, although I have like a trillion stories of the power of yes, and I cut them down to half a trillion that I'm going to talk to you about tonight because the word is powerful. And I want you to understand fully and completely the energy behind this word. Hey, caller, welcome to the call. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mute everybody. And then when at the end of the call, what I'll do is unmute everybody, and that's when we'll do the Q&A. If you hover your arrow over the bottom, there's a little chat. On my side, it looks like a little, like someone saying something. You can click that and ask questions during the call or to remind yourself. Okay, so the power of yes. So thank you for being here and choosing you as a priority. My name is Denise Dominguez, and I am a speaker, coach, and international best-selling author. I help women resolve their unhealthy relationships so that they can live a life of freedom, joy, and abundance. I help women embrace who they are, who they really are, so they can be free to create the results they desire in business, life, and relationships. I do specialize in narcissistic abuse healing. That is my specialty. Given the background that I have in building my coaching practice on my story of being in a relationship with one for 22 years. But overall, I help women resolve their unhealthy relationships. So tonight, I want you to sit back and relax and take in as much information as possible. This is for you. So I'm so glad you're here. I really am. And we're going to be very interactive. So pull up your chat box because tonight I'm asking questions, and that is where you can answer them. So if you don't know me, here's a little cliff note about me. I hosted a radio show on Blog Talk Radio called It's Your Turn Radio. And I did that for almost 2 years. Fun. And then I co-authored in 2 books. The most recent one was last October called A New Day Dawns, Breaking Up with Abuse. And my book that I'm launching all by myself, I'm not a co-author, I am the author. That one will launch 2018. So coming up real soon. I'm a speaker, like I mentioned before, and my signature speech is own your story so your story doesn't own you. And like, what else is possible? So we're going to talk about some of those questions. Those are energy questions that I'm going to give to you so that you can start to create. All right, so let's do some housekeeping before we get started. This call is just for you. So make yourself a priority for the next 30 to 40 minutes. I try to keep these calls short. So that means close out those other tabs on your computer. And as I'm saying that, let me make sure mine are. Because one of the most annoying things is hearing that Facebook notification go off. Okay, so, put your cell phones on silent and just be here with me. Just be here with me and focus on you, okay? Because that is the start for you to have everything, I promise. Hopefully, you're in a relaxing place to listen to this call. I call it my sacred place or my sacred space. And that's where I have, my candles lit. I have my favorite drink next to me, like a glass of tea or water, and just have my own space in my house that's just for me. I actually went out and bought a special chair. Well, it's not special, but it's just like my chair. And you should have that space for you too in your house, just for you. No kids, no husband, just you. All right. So what we're going to do next is we are going to take a couple of breaths to get present. I do this before every call. It's just to kind of get grounded. All right. So we're going to do 4. And I want you to imagine as we inhale, you're inhaling all the positivity, all the love, anything that lights you up. This is what I want you to inhale. And then when we exhale, I want you to exhale. We can start with all of the crap from today, right? Whatever, pissed you off from today, whatever didn't go right, we're going to let it go. If you want to move deeper into that, then you can exhale all of the crap from this week, this year, life, whatever is coming up for you, just let it go. All right, here we go. Ready? We're going to inhale, excuse me. Inhale. We're going to hold it. I like to just exhale all the crap from today, right? Whatever didn't go right. All right. So now we're going to inhale again. I am choosing to inhale love. The love that I have, the love for this call that was created, and just love in general. Okay, inhale. And then hold it for a couple seconds. Try to sip. Some more in. Hold it. Exhale. Let it out. Okay. Inhale. Positivity. Love. Light. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Hold it. Exhale. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Drink of some water. I always have a drink next to me. All right. So here's what we're going to cover in tonight's call. The power of yes. We're going to cover the energy behind saying yes and saying no. Okay, we're going to cover how your mind protects you from saying yes, shifting the mind chatter from excuses and reasons why we say no to saying yes, a hell of a lot more. Oh yeah. Asking questions to create examples of saying yes or no and what happens after that. I have a ton. I'm going to narrow them down. How to manifest by just saying yes. How to trust yourself and get what you desire from life, and so much more. Okay? So if you got my email this morning, I wrote this. And what I wrote was really the question is, what do you want from life? A lot of people don't even know what they want from life because they're in just such a rut of day to day. So let's go a little bit deeper than that. Okay, so you are energy. I am energy. Our thoughts are energy. Our voices are energy, right? And so why not learn the power of yes so that you can start creating what you really want from life? Right? It's a no-brainer. I mean, think about it. Okay, so try this. Think of something you want. It doesn't matter what it is. A pair of shoes, a purse, a car, a house, a guy, a girl, a first date, a wedding engagement ring, anything. Just anything. Just think of it. Okay. Do you have that image in your mind? Okay, hold it. Hold it there. Okay, so now I want you to say yes. Yes, I want that. Okay, say yes. And then take in that feeling. Take in that feeling of the energy behind you saying, yes, I want that. Okay, it's amazing and light, right? And I bet you even smiled too. This is the energy and feeling you want so that you can manifest everything that you desire in life. Now, let's flip this. Now think of that same thing again and say no to it. Can you feel the energy shift? I bet you didn't even smile this time, right? Huge difference between the two words. Huge difference in the energy too. Now, what if you want something in life, but your mind goes into 100 different excuses or reasons why you shouldn't or can't have that? And then you don't go after it and you miss out on it. Okay? Like there's a trillion things I could think of. I've said no to many, many things myself, and then it was just a matter of me having such determination and faith and saying yes, what I wanted. And the first thing that's come into my head that I said yes to was leaving my toxic relationship and saying yes to me, and not feeling scared or trying to figure out piece by piece of what's going to happen next. That's the thing. Okay. Because our minds, there's the difference between the mind and the heart. Our minds go into, we have to figure everything out. We can't do this until we have every single step figured out, right? No, that's the opposite. But this is how we were trained. This is how we were wired. And so what we're going to do is we're going to untrain that thought process, that mindset. We're going to rewire, okay? So have you ever heard of Neale Donald Walsch? He wrote the book Conversations with God. And there's like this short 6-minute video that he has on YouTube. Amazing video. I highly recommend it. I give it to my clients or anybody really to watch over and over and over and over again. So what he says in this 6-minute video basically is that the universe always says yes. No matter what you ask for, no matter what you think, no matter what you believe, the universe always says yes. So through our thoughts, words, and actions, the universe is really giving us what we're saying we want. Okay? So now we're going to go into the conscious mind and the subconscious mind, because we speak from our conscious mind. I want to lose 25 pounds, or I want more money. This is from our conscious mind. But what is the belief in our subconscious mind and our unconscious mind that is not bringing that to us? So when I say, I'm so sick and tired of whatever, my boss. I'm so sick and tired of my boss. The universe says yes to that. The universe says, yeah, you are sick and tired of your boss. You are. And gives me more of being sick and tired of my boss. So that's just an example. So let me go to an example of the opposite. When we really do want something and we're just like, I know for you, there's been times where you're just like, screw it. I want it. I don't know how I'm going to get it, but I want it and I'm going to have it. Okay? Whatever it is. And you got it. Because you stayed in that energy of this is happening. Okay? So whatever thought, words, or actions you put out to the universe brings it back to you as a yes. We're all vibrational beings. We're all energy. This is something that you have to constantly keep in mind. And this is what is going to shift your mindset. to whatever you want out of life versus whatever you've been trying to get out of life and it hasn't been happening up until now. So the first time that I got into a coaching program, it was very high end. It was pretty much 3/4 of my rent on a monthly payment. And I said yes to it. And when I said yes to it, I honestly did not know how I was going to pay for this because I was making 28, maybe 30,000 a year. And it was a down payment plus a monthly payment. And yes, I was scared shitless, but my why of why I wanted this was so big. And it was almost like my body said yes for me instead of me thinking about it, right? Because we will talk ourselves out of things, ladies. We will talk ourselves out of anything. And we're so brilliant that we can do it within minutes, right? Hit that snoozer and you will talk ourselves into sleeping an extra 10 minutes, half hour, whatever. We'll talk ourselves out of not going up to a guy and having a conversation, or even just anybody and having a conversation, even just networking and meeting new people. It doesn't have to necessarily be a guy. We're good at that. We're brilliant. And the thing is that we need to shift our brilliance into a way that works for us and helps us get what we truly desire out of life. So when we ask for things, when we go into what we want out of life, we have to think about whatever we're thinking and believing we're going to get. So if you think and believe that I'm so sick and tired of my boss, you're going to get more of that. If you're saying I'm sick and tired of this traffic in the morning, or I'm sick and tired of my spouse being an ass, whatever it is, you have to really be mindful that you're going to get that as a yes. So this is where the whole mindset shift. All right. So just a few examples of when I said yes and it all turned out good. Now, when I say that I said yes, these are things that I said yes to, but I didn't have the money, or I was scared, or I did have fear around it. Not just, there's a difference between saying yes to something when you have the time or the money or whatever in your pocket and it's a no-brainer. These are things that I said yes to that I actually had fear around or didn't have the money, which is fear too, and all of that. Okay, so I already mentioned leaving my marriage. Okay, that was a big one. After 22 years. And then another one is the first time that I said yes to going to Colorado. This was in between me leaving from Florida to North Carolina, and the opportunity came to me. And the conversation that I had in my head went like this. Okay, Denise, if you were with him, he would not, quote unquote, allow you to do this trip, because the trip was flying to Colorado, staying for X amount of days, and then driving from Colorado back to South Florida with my friend. So I wouldn't be allowed to do that. So then I thought, and now, Denise, you're going to let money stand in your way. So then I thought, so either way, Denise, you stop yourself and you make excuses to not do things that you really want to do. Because I wanted to go. Even though I didn't know, I just wanted to go. I love traveling and I just wanted to go. So in that moment, I said yes. And I just figured it all out as I went. The first thing that you have to do, regardless of you have the time or if you have the money, if you want something, you say yes to it first. Okay. So now, and I talked a little bit about the coaching program. That was huge for me because I was so scared. How was I going to pay for this? How was I going to, I really, truly didn't know how I was going to come up with the payment. And yes, I did try to quit a couple of times. I certainly did. But luckily, I have an awesome coach, business coach, and she coached me out of it. And even when things got really crazy, she coached me out of it. And I finished that program. And that was huge for me because it was the first time that I entered into something and finished it all the way, right? All right, so another yes that I said that there was a lot of fear around, and then of course finances was my business, my coaching business. You know, to have any kind of a business, there's an investment. There's an investment in yourself, there's an investment in time, there's an investment in funds, and there's scarcity around it too. Like, is this business going to succeed? Am I going to succeed? Is it going to be a failure? So these are the things that you think about, and these are also the things that will talk you out of doing things like starting a business. So the list goes on of the things that I've said yes to, and you too, that if you really think about it, you've said yes to a lot of things that maybe you had excuses around and you were just like, fuck that, I don't care. So now think of a time when you said yes, even when you were scared. Did everything work out? Okay? Because that's a thing. Like, feeling scared and fear it's just false evidence appearing real. That's all fear is. And once you really dive into that and really dissect it and really get to know what fear is, then you will stand up to it and you will shut it down. So now think of a time when you wanted to say yes, but you allowed that scarcity or that fear to step in and take over. So you said no and then wish you had said yes. We could be talking about big things here. We could be talking about small things. I know there was a trillion times that I walked in the store and I was like, oh, those shoes are so pretty. I really, really want them. But I only have enough money for, X, Y, and Z. And so I didn't buy the shoes. And they were on sale. And then I went back when I had the money or when I was brave enough to do it. And guess what? The shoes were either no longer there, or they didn't have my size, or they weren't on sale. Every time. Okay. So the other part of saying yes is to have that trust muscle built up. So building that trust muscle. Because when you say yes to something that you do have some scarcity or fear around, and it's inevitable, it's going to be there, you want to have the knowing and trust that the universe has your back. The universe has your back because, like in the video, God always says yes. The universe always says yes. So if you say yes and you trust that this is all going to work out, whatever this is, it's all going to work out. And just keep believing it's all going to work out. It will. It will. If somebody would have told me that when I was leaving that, yeah, you're going to leave and you're going to move 3 states away and you're going to build an amazing life for yourself. No, it's not going to happen overnight, but you're going to do it. If they would have told me that before I had decided to say yes, I would have been like, you're crazy. And that seems really scary and I'm not going to do it. So you have to just trust that when you say yes to something, no matter what it is, it's all going to work out. That means no matter what, things are going to work out for the best. But you have to really believe that. And that's where there's a disconnect a lot of the time, because the disconnect is the mind versus your heart. The disconnect is all the things that are in our minds that we talk ourselves out of. And really what it is, just like fear, it's a story that we've made up in our head. It's a story that's been passed down to us from our parents and their parents, or somebody at school, or media or social media, or something somewhere. And if you just ask, sit with your heart and ask or believe that what you want is a yes and everything's going to work out, then it will. So it's time for us to start realizing that the mind, 80% or more of what we say to ourselves is total bullshit, and start to really connect to our hearts. Start really focusing on what we really desire out of life and what's really important. The mind is going to make excuses of why you can't have that, or you shouldn't have that, or that's too risky, or something's going to happen, or a million other things, right? It's going to shut you down. It's going to talk you out of it. Your heart is where your truth is. And that's why we want to connect more with our hearts. And all you have to do that is just talk to yourself from that place, or sit in silence and just keep pushing, gently pushing those thoughts away, and just keep connecting, keep connecting, keep connecting. Because you know, if you just trust it, trust that what you want is there for you. It's waiting for you. You just have to trust and know that you can have it. You can have it all. And don't get discouraged of the timeline, because honestly, I've been building my business since 2014, and that may not sound like a long time, but when you're in it, like just with anything, like when you go to shop for a house and then you get the house, or anything that you're trying to create in your life, when you're in it, it seems like it's taking so long, but then when you look in hindsight, it wasn't really that long. So just be patient with yourself, that whatever you are going after, it's there for you waiting. It's kind of like when you chip away at a solid rock and there's this beautiful golden nugget in the middle, and you chip, 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 chip. You're exhausted, chip, chip, chip. You're sweating, chip, chip, chip. You're dirty. You're disgusting. You're tired. And you're chipping and you're chipping. And you're just like, ugh, I can't do this anymore. I've been chipping away for, X amount of days, weeks, months, years, and there's no golden nugget. Maybe it's not there. Maybe what I thought is not true. I'm just going to turn away and I'm not going to chip anymore because I just can't do it anymore. And you were one chip away from the golden nugget. But you'll never know that until you keep chipping. And that is just how it is in life. We go after something, and in the beginning, we're just so gung-ho and so excited about it. And then we get discouraged because what we want doesn't come to us in the manner of time that we have expected it to, and we give up. Or we stop. Or we slow down. And we get discouraged. And then we don't get what we want out of life. And then when there's all these opportunities around us, we're like, yeah, I tried that and it didn't work out. So it doesn't exist. Yes, it does. It really, really does. So let me go back to what we are going to cover, because I want to make sure that you get everything that I promised you. All right, so we talked about the power of yes, the energy behind it, your mind protects you from saying yes. All right, shifting the mind chatter from excuses and reasons, why we say no, to saying a hell yes a lot more. Okay, I think we covered everything except for the questions. Yeah. All right, so questions. So I always give these questions out like candy, because I adore you to have whatever you want out of life. So, all right, so 3 questions are coming to my mind. 2 of them are so universal, and that is, what is possible? And I'm going to write it in the chat box for you. What else is possible? What else is possible. Now, these are energy questions. So ask them, like get in the habit of asking them all the time. This one also, how does it get any better than that or this? This question you can use for good situations, bad situations, and so on. How does it get any better than this? How does it get any better than that? So example, you're in traffic and you need to be somewhere. How does it get any better than this? And just ask the question. Now remember, when you ask these questions, you want to stay in the curiosity of the questions. Do not answer them. Here's why. Again, we are energy and we are all vibrations. So when you ask the question, this is you being the energy vibrating that question out to the universe. And what do we want? We want the answer to this question. If we answer the question ourselves, we're cutting off the energy. Remember, a question always empowers, an answer always disempowers. So just stay in the curiosity of the question and ask it and trust and know that the universe is going to bring it to you. Again, it may not happen in an instant. It may not happen overnight. It may not happen in a week. Keep asking. Keep asking, keep asking, keep asking. I promise you, this is an amazing tool for you to use. The third question is, this one's coming up for me. What would courage have me do? I have a ton of more questions. If you contact me and ask me, I'll send you some questions. I have energy questions around, general, specific business questions. This is one that I like. I wonder what can be created with the combined energy of us. I wonder what can be created with the combined energy of us. This you can use in a partnership, whether that be your spouse, your kids, your clients, your future clients, anybody. So, all right, so now I've covered everything that I promised you in the call, because that is my duty to give you everything that I say I'm going to give you. And so now what I'm going to do is unmute everybody. And this is your time for Q&A. Or if you just need some coaching, this is your opportunity. So the lines are open.
Hi, Denise.
Hey, how are you, caller?
I'm okay today. How about you?
Doing well. I'm really pleased to see all these people on the line. That excites me.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I first got on, it said one person, so I didn't know.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah. I'm to the point now. I've done a lot of work on myself, and I was so busy doing that I didn't have time for friends. And now I want friends.
Mm-hmm.
And I meet people all the time. They come in, and some of them I would like to see again. Some I just like to see them, casually at events. And I'm trying to be more discerning of who I allow in. But my issue is because I did come from an narcissistic abuse background with my family, all three members of my family.
Mm-hmm.
They kept me from having friends. They would always scare my friends away. I was only allowed to have certain friends,
Mm-hmm.
that knew them well. Anybody else that didn't know them well, they were threatened by.
Mm-hmm. And
I don't know how about making new friends, people that I haven't known for a long time. And I'm ready for new friends. I've let the old go because I've transformed so much of myself. I have nothing in common with them anymore.
Okay. So, do you network? Are you involved in the community or any networking?
Yeah, I do a lot of, I go to a lot of things. I went to an event yesterday, a speaker event, and see, I live in a small community, so I see people I know all the time and meet new people because I am good at meeting people, not having it go any further. I meet a lot of people. People know me. I go to a vegan group. I know the people there. I went to a craft show where I saw a lot of people I know there. I'm having a lot of fun for the first time in years. And so I would like to be able to maybe, because I'm lonely because I really haven't had much of a life because of my family, and now I want to have more of a life.
Okay, so why do you think that you're meeting all these people, but yet none of them are turning into friendships?
Because I don't know how to initiate or even say, or what to say, or how to approach somebody. I don't want to be too aggressive. I don't want to be too passive. It's like, it just seems like it's so hard to match up schedules that I don't even attempt to do it anymore. And then I think also the fear of rejection is not as strong as it was. I'm getting a lot better with that, but I'm sure that's still there. And, that maybe they're too busy. It just seems like everybody's so busy. It's like I don't even want to test it,
They are, but when there's a connection, people will make time for you, and you'll make time for that person. So you can take that out of the box, because I know when I meet somebody and I really like them, then I'll make time to hang out with that person. And and then the other thing that you were saying was, it sounds like you're giving up because you're getting frustrated.
Yeah, I am, because I met a really great, I usually only have male friends, and I met a really cool lady last week who really liked me, and another one that did, but I know that one would not work out, right? And then I met a couple others at the beach a few weeks ago that actually got my phone number. Hopefully I was smart enough this time to take theirs too. But this one that, really, really liked me, she goes, I'm sure we'll see each other again because, it's a small town, but I've never seen her before that I remember. And I'm so sorry I didn't, because her and I were so much alike. She kept saying, well, like attracts like. You're like me. And it's like, well, why didn't I ask her for her phone number if that was the case, So, yeah, I guess that's frustrated, and I don't even bother anymore because the people I attempted to make friends with, I was making poor choices in the past, and it was it hurt me self-esteem wise.
So I would say don't give up. Keep going. Are you in your local town? Are you in Facebook groups that are with just the people in the town?
No, my Facebook groups are for things that I'm real interested in, but no, not in the town.
Okay. So here's what I did. So I live in a smaller town also, and I'm only been here in this town for 2 years. And what I did was I do a lot of networking, and all of this takes time. Okay. It definitely takes time. And you're right. You're not going to connect with everybody. And if you get a vibe of somebody that you're just like, no, then trust that vibe. But what I did was I created a Facebook group, and it was so that I could start to get to know people. Because even with networking, you see them, you exchange cards, and you go about your own way. And there's really not, unless you stay on top of it, which could get overwhelming. So I created a Facebook group in my town, and it's called the Ladies of Clayton because that's where I live, and it's all women. And what we've been doing, so I've had this Facebook group, I don't know, a few months now. We have almost 500 women in there, and they all live in this area. And then what we started doing was starting to put together social events, like a wine and design, or just hang out and, do coffee in the morning or something like that. So how does that sound to you if you were to do that?
Well, the thing is, we have so many community events here. That's how everybody meets people here. We have so much community. I think that's why people don't contact each other. And I think what I need to do is when I meet somebody, say, how would you like to go to this event with me?
Mm-hmm.
And maybe invite someone. I've been attempting to do that, but it doesn't always turn out. And or this or that, and let's keep each other's phone number, and maybe we can do one of these events together, because we have so much going on in Santa Barbara.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost not necessary to do that, but I mean, I could try that, but I'd have to have a separate Facebook group, because my other one is basically to something I'm doing kind of from all this. So I don't know if you can have two Facebook accounts. I imagine you can.
Well, you could just create a group within your Facebook account.
Okay.
Yeah. You just do it from your Facebook. And what you do is just start initiating like group, social meetings. Something that sounds fun. Like, when I first put this, the wine and design together, I just thought I had like 2 or 3 women going. It turned out there was like 8. And we had a blast. And I got to meet,
That sounds cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And I got to meet new people that I had never met before. A few of them I already knew, but I got to meet new ones, and they got to meet us, and it was great. And now we're doing another one, December 11th, because those are super fun, wine and designs. And just if you want to start off small, then just do like a coffee group. Let's all meet at a local coffee place or Starbucks or something and just get to know each other. I'm telling you, that is, just keep going with it. And if nobody's responding or you're not getting a response, then just initiate things and just start off small with like a coffee group or something.
Yeah, see, I didn't know what to start with, but yeah, just maybe say, let's have a coffee social and we can brainstorm. We could have a brainstorm, where we can come up with other things that we all mutually would like to do.
Right.
And that might be fun, and say, we'll just start here and then see where it goes.
Yeah, and also in Facebook, you can create a poll where you ask a question and say, hey, I'm thinking about putting this together, and then they vote on which one of this that sounds good. So you could put in a coffee group, a wine and design, or girls' night out, or whatever you come up with. You could create a poll, and then they vote on it and go, oh, this one, and then so the one that's most popular is the one that you would start off with.
Right.
See, when you do that, you're starting to get like the energy flowing. You're getting the juices going. You're getting them excited. You're planting the seed, right? So you could start with that.
Right. Yeah, and then people start getting more enthusiastic about it.
Right.
More inspired.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right. Because for me, if I was to vote, I would want to do a wine and design, but that doesn't mean that I wouldn't like a coffee group either. So if you get the most, for example, if you get the most votes with the wine and design, then you just do that one first, but then you would still go ahead and do like the coffee group because you got some votes on that. You just got more for the wine and design. You know what I mean?
The only thing is I would have to show up to all these things, and I think that's why I don't do that, because I like going to just these events that are already set up in case I'm too tired or don't have the energy to go. I'm going to feel pressure that I have to show up, and I don't see that. I think that's why I haven't initiated friendship, because then I'm going to feel the pressure to show up when maybe I'm not used to having any kind of pressure. I don't have to go to a job right now or anything, and then I've got to show up. So I think that's why I hesitate, because I don't want to be pressured to have to always show up.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, that's it.
So, I mean, any relationship takes effort, and you definitely have to show up. So you just have to make the decision, and you just have to say to yourself, like, I'm going to do this. If this is what I want, and if I want it bad enough, then this is what I'm going to do.
And maybe make it for once, start out, once a month, and then increase it to twice a month. It doesn't have to be like every week, it could be once a month. Yeah, that I could handle.
Yeah.
And then if by chance the date has to change, be flexible on it.
Exactly.
Okay, that sounds better. I could handle that.
Awesome. Good.
Yeah, and if you have a chance, maybe after someone else has asked a question, I'd like to ask one more. So.
Okay. So the lines are open. Anybody else have a question or need to get coached on? We have 1, 2. Okay, so, all right. Well, go ahead. Nobody is.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm right now, because I'm coming out, all of a sudden I'm totally different. I've totally transformed myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think, I discussed with you before, setting boundaries and speaking up for what I need that's where I have a lot of frustration.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to a couple of events, had a really good time. And then, of course, from my past, somebody I used to have empathy toward saw me at this event and wanted my coaching, or I tend to coach people like you do, or be like a therapist.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm thinking, I've been there a long time, and now I just want to have fun. And she's like mentally really unstable. I really don't want her coming up to me and expecting me to be her therapist at these fun events. And she did that in the past, and I didn't really appreciate it. And I'm not sure what to say if it happens again.
That's a good one. So she's mentally unstable?
Very. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you know what do you know what her diagnosis is?
No, I don't. It's just real apparent. Like, her car is just filled with trash. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And she's always buying stuff at the thrift store and putting more in there.
So at these events, what does she want from you? What advice, or what is she saying to you?
Well, she stopped one guy who I know, there's a psychologist, and asked him, like, what do I do about my family? They're mean. They're this. She says, it's repetitious. Mm-hmm. And he told her what to do, and I didn't hear it, and I told her what to do. And he goes, "That's what I just told her." I said, "Exactly what he said. Then do it. It works." But she kept going on, and I said, "And you also have repetitive thoughts."
Right.
And I said, you need to start looking at yourself. You're looking at these people, and what we told you to do is start looking at yourself and start looking at where you do the same thing. We all have those same things inside of us.
Right.
But we need to focus more on our own evolution, our own process.
Right.
And she, yeah. And at that point, it was the end of the event, so I left. But I can't imagine what would have happened if she showed up at my table when we first started, and I'm trying to have fun with people.
Right.
And she would start to do that. She'd start right in the conversation to get therapy from me, and I'm talking to somebody else. She did that in the past, and I didn't talk to her for a long time.
So if she does that when you are already in a conversation with somebody else, then you definitely need to set a boundary with her and let her know that I'm over here right now, and something along the lines of, when I'm done, I'll get to you. If hopefully she'll veer off and go do something else, but she can't just interrupt what you're doing and take your attention away from what you're already doing. Like, that's total disrespect.
It is, but she'll do it. And I'm thinking about just being really blunt, because, I know you probably know about energy vampires,
Mm-hmm.
In the past used to attract a lot of them, and mostly women. And I stopped doing that. And this is somebody from the past. You probably, whatever. It's just, it's igniting again. I guess it's a test for me and from the universe. And I think I need to be real direct and just say, look, when I'm at these events, I come here to meet new people. I know you already, and this is nothing personal, but I like to I'd like to sit at a new table with new people and get to know different people.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd appreciate it. Maybe I would think maybe you like to do the same. So I hope you respect that. I was thinking, would that be? That's not cruel. I just don't want to be cruel. I can be really mean, and I don't want to be.
That's perfect.
Okay.
That's perfect. You're getting your point across. You're not being rude at all, but at the same time, you're getting your point across. So you're being stern, but not being rude. I think that's perfect.
Because otherwise, when I'm rude, then I got to go home and clear that, and I don't like myself, and then that's what something. Yeah.
Right. No, that's perfect. What you just said.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anybody else? Okay. So I'll end the call with this. Because I always get emails afterwards. They were like, I was on the call and I just couldn't say what I wanted to say. And that's totally fine. I totally get it. So if you are on the call right now and you do need some coaching or you have a question, whatever, then you can contact me at, Facebook, social media, my website. If you go to my website, it has the links to my social media directly. And then my email is, I'll give you my personal one. It's denised000@gmail.com. If you go to my website, I think that's where you get the 90-minute training call for free, and then you can set up a call with me. But if you just shoot me an email and say, hey, I'd like to get on the phone with you, we can do that. Or if you just want to email me a question. So that's how you can get in touch with me. And next week, I will not be doing a call, but I will be doing the call after that on Monday. I think I'm going to do a single for the holidays and loving it because that's a popular one. And as always, you have any suggestions for some topics that you'd like me to cover, just let me know, and I'll be more than happy to do it because I'm open to that. All right. So that is it for our Monday Motivational Call. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for listening to the replay, and I will see you in 2 weeks.
Thank you, Denise.
You're welcome. Have a great night.
Thank you.